Another key issue for Canada, the United States, and other Ukrainian allies at the G20 is Russia's war on Ukraine. There's reportedly a push for a draft resolution that condemns Russia, which is a G20 member. As Richard Kimber reports now, summit leaders also heard an impassioned appeal to isolate Russia from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy.
Well, he said a lot of things, but very specifically, the thing that stuck in people's minds was that he addressed the G19, not the G20. He made a pointed and repeated remark using the number 19 to make his point clear that he does not think Russia deserves a seat at this G20 summit. Of course, Russia's President Vladimir Putin is not here anyway. He sent his foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, instead. But that was his real decisive move to really undermine Russia's authority here. He said that he has a specific list of requirements that he wishes Russia to honour as it pulls out of Ukraine in order to issue an immediate de-escalation of the military situation there. That ultimately has the broad support of all of the G20 leaders, of course, apart from Russia, who are here. There has been a draft communique circulated among the media here that will effectively become the final conclusive report from this year's G20 that shows that most leaders fully support the idea of an immediate de-escalation. They fully support what they say is the joint understanding that this is a horrific invasion by Russia and that it must stop. And there's more pressure than ever being levelled towards Moscow over their military action.
So in place of Vladimir Putin, we have Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov representing Russia and Moscow. How is he responding to what you heard today from President Zelenskyy and this G20 draft resolution, Richard?
Well, he was given space to speak, as of course he should be at the G20, and his speech was listened. No walkout as there has been on previous occasions when there has been a Russian speaker talking about their view on the military action in Ukraine. He justified the action according to various military strategies that are needed in order to secure Russian territory. He also criticized the need for discussion of this issue at the G20. There has been criticism of that from Russian officials, saying that the G20 is not the place for this kind of security discussion. Of course, there is little sympathy for him right here at the Bali summit because there's been so much pressure from outspoken leaders, whether it's the US President Joe Biden, Justin Trudeau, or of course the UK's Prime Minister, the new Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who's to a certain extent taken this opportunity to try and make a name for himself by speaking out very broadly against Vladimir Putin over this issue. So this has really dominated day one of proceedings. It's unlikely to spill over into Wednesday's discussions, but it's such a big deal at this year's summit. There's no guarantee of that, but there are many other things on the table here too: climate change, food security and energy security. But of course the last two of those very much tie in to Russia's military action in Ukraine. So this is certainly not an issue that is finished with here at the summit.